Hey, Christ Place Church. I'm excited about spending time today in God's Word with your family. We get to live out the power of God's Word even during this unprecedented time. As I've been thinking about my life this week, my time with my family, our conversations, our concerns, our worries, it reminded me of a time in sixth grade when I encountered the writings of C.S. Lewis in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Lewis was a master storyteller. He takes 4 children into the land of Narnia through a wardrobe. They encounter all kinds of mystical creatures and animals, and it's in the conversation with a couple of beavers that they encounter for the first time the name Aslan. Let me share a little bit of that story with you. The beavers say Aslan is on the move, perhaps already landed. Lewis says the mention of his name was like a dream too beautiful for words. It was like something you yearn to return to all throughout your life. At the name of Aslan, the children felt something leap inside of them. It's not until chapter 8 that the beavers explain more about this king. They say, he is the king. He is the Lord of the whole wood, but not often here, you understand. Never in my time or in my father's time. But the word has reached us that he has come back. He is in Narnia at this moment. Lucy asked, is he a man? To which Beaver replies, Aslan, a man? Certainly not. I tell you, he is the king of the woods, the son of the great emperor beyond the sea. Don't you know who is the king of the beasts? Aslan is a lion, the great lion. To which Susan and Lucy ask, well, is the lion safe? To which Beaver replies, who said anything about safe? Of course he isn't safe, but he is good. He is the king, isn't he? When the characters in Lewis's story catch a picture, a glimpse of Aslan the lion, it changes everything. I've been constantly reminded these last few days of the importance of us focusing on the great lion. We desperately need to see Jesus in the middle of a pandemic, in the overwhelming pressures and complexities of life. We need to see him in all the social and political changes that are swirling all around us. The Apostle John reminds us of this. He was alone, stranded on the island of Patmos. It was a barren wasteland. He could have sank easily into depression and fear. But John had been with Jesus. He had been with him long enough to realize that even in the loneliness of imprisonment, he needed to keep his eyes focused on Jesus. John knew that keeping his eyes on Jesus was more important than all the comforts and freedoms that went with life. John's time in exile gave him a chance to gaze at Jesus. He describes what he saw in Revelation chapter 1. Let me read you beginning in verse 12. Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me. And on turning, I saw 7 golden lampstands. And in the midst of the lampstands, one like a son of man, clothed with a long robe and with a golden sash around his chest. The hairs of his head were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like burnished bronze refined in a furnace. And his voice was like the roar of many waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp 2-edged sword. And his face was like the sun, shining in full strength. He is with us during this time. What did John see? When John looked at Jesus, he was clothed as both a king and a priest. He is in control physically of everything going on and spiritually of all our needs. What did John see? When he looked at Jesus, he was strong with eyes like flaming fire. He is fully engaged. He isn't missing a detail of our life. Have you looked at Jesus lately? Have you seen him? Lewis says when we catch a glimpse of Jesus, it'll change everything. It will be like a dream that we yearn to return to. Have you seen him? Have you looked at him? I'm calling you to see Jesus today. I'm calling you as a family to look to him, to keep your eyes focused on him. Take some time today to talk about ways that you can encourage one another to keep your eyes on Jesus. Help one another see him, to see the great King, the great Lion. I love you, Christ Place Church family. I hope to see you again real soon.